Hello, this is Arturelia Anime Room Reviews. I'm Arturo, and today I'll be reviewing Inuyasha. Is something you would probably hear of most of the time. It is a famous anime series. Some may love it, some may hate it. I like it. It got me into the anime industry to begin with. So I gotta say, thumbs up for Inuyasha. Then there was the movie, the first movie out of 3 more. And this is set during maybe season 2 or so. Is it any good? Is it just as good as the show itself? Well, that's why you're here. Today I'll be reviewing Inuyasha, the first film. Let's go.
Keep your hands to yourself, pervert!
You misunderstand. I was just making sure that your flawless body wasn't harmed in any way.
Not necessary, thank you!
Inuyasha and the gang fight off against a demon. However, after that, a new threat emerges. A moth demon, who wants revenge for his father, that was defeated by Inuyasha's father. Now, Inuyasha and his friends will end up running into trouble, and a big problem that will tear the world apart. Will everyone manage to hold their own, or die trying? Threat after threat will be thrown their way, and it will be a long and hard fight to get through to save the day once again. And the soundtrack is, your same type of soundtrack. Well, I mean, it's different, but it's obviously basically the same theme from the show, which is good. And, the ending credits, yeah, good. The story this time around, besides Inuyasha having moments of humor, there's also dark moments in the show. It has some, but mostly pretty dark. This was a pretty dark film in the Inuyasha series. Most of them are dark, as we see everyone go through a tough time dealing with this new enemy. And the story really goes through Inuyasha and Kagome's relationship and the bond between time, because it's also affecting, well, I don't want to get into much detail. Let's just say it is affecting time. Now here's what's different between the show and the movie. While the show has great animation, the film has a lot of more detail with the character designs. The animation is new, and the face of the characters is obviously very different from the show. Had really nice details. For comparison, look. Overall, the action scenes are great, and what I can remember, there really isn't anything wrong with the animation. It's top notch. We know the characters from the show, so there's really no point in going into detail about them. Though the only few new characters is basically the new enemies that Inuyasha and the gang have to face. Well, they're your typical bad guys. Yes, the main one, Minomaru, if I'm pronouncing it right, is the one causing the problem this time around for Inuyasha and his friends. He's powerful and gets away with his plan from the start, and basically everything goes his way. And yeah, for him, powerful, hell. And yeah, the characters actually have a hard time going through some of the worst hellish points in this film to finally face him. For him, he's so powerful that he's basically raining down hell for these characters. Especially with his 2 allies, 2 female characters that also cause trouble for Inuyasha's friends. And we also see a bit of why he's doing what he's doing, especially when it comes to revenge, because of Inuyasha's father. And I also liked how everything's basically at first tumbling down for these characters. But these are the only 3 new characters of the series, and returning characters have moments, like Sesshomaru, but he doesn't have much screen time, and Kikyo, well, Kikyo has always been a character that's had weird moments, and she has at least some moments here in the film. You will have to watch to find out. As for my enjoyment, I really did enjoy this film. It was dark and an interesting new tale for Inuyasha. A brand new story. And the fact that I like to see the characters try to go through some of the darkest points in this film. Especially with Sango. Yes, I like Sango. Her moment, I won't go into detail, but just because of spoilers, but it was interesting. Inuyasha and Kagome have a moment too. Moroku, also with Sango, tries to help her out as well with what's going on. I mean, you really feel for the characters. I mean, besides Naraku destroying their lives, this film shows like how the heroes almost have a downfall. I mean, close to it, like everything's not working right, and you feel for them. And it was different. I mean, as much as the characters do run into trouble in the show, this was almost close to them either getting defeated or losing and dying. And there was an event that occurs in this film, but I will not give it away. I can say it was different. Yes, we do get action scenes and all that, and I know the show had a problem with the repetitiveness, but this film was very different, and I liked it.
Wind tunnel!
Inuyasha, the first film, I gotta say, was a very interesting one. And if you want to watch it right when it actually starts, because it starts between one of the seasons, that's where you could go and start it off if you're watching the show. It is very great. I will give it an 8 out of 10 because it is great. And if you haven't watched it, you should watch it. It's something new and different when you get into the Inuyasha series. Besides the characters always running into trouble and enemies, yes, this is a new enemy, but it's also something about it. It will keep you interested until the very end. It was a great film, I can say that. Now for my recommendation, I can obviously point you to the show, but also the last 3 films of the Inuyasha film trilogy. And also, obviously, if you want more Inuyasha, here you go. Not to mention, there are other video games, if you want to try those out. Well, this is Arturelia, Anime Room Reviews, signing off.